This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. This afternoon from the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, it's game number 4, and the Cardinals looking for a sweep. St. Louis Cardinals and Chicago Cubs. And welcome to the broadcast booth here at Wrigley Field. That's Tim McCarver. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes is with us as well. Tim, what can you say about these 3 games? It's been just a remarkable series of baseball from the Cardinal perspective.
Unbelievable, and that's why it's not the friendly confines, at least for the Chicago Cubs, the home team. 3 straight wins by the Cardinals. I mean, what do you say? I mean, Kimbrel had given up 1 home run against St. Louis total in his career. He's given up 3 in 2 games in this series.
And the Cardinals, if they win today, that gets them at least a spot in the dance, meaning postseason play. So there's a lot on the line here this afternoon.
Milwaukee closing, playing very, very well. Not closing because the Cardinals have been winning. The Chicago Cubs, it's going to be tough. Now they've got to be thinking about whether they make the playoffs or not.
Should be a fun matchup here today. It's a pair of right-handers. Miles Michaelis going for St. Louis, and Yu Darvish for the Chicago Cubs. More thrills from Wrigley. We're about to find out. Game 4 is coming up. Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals from Wrigley Field here in Chicago. We turn to our Kia Give It Everything. The Cardinals pitching since August 9th, and the ranks in Major League Baseball. They are first in wins, team ERA, the home runs allowed, and saves with 16. And that means Carlos Martinez, he's played a big role in this weekend series. With more on Carlos, let's go downstairs to Jim Hayes.
A wild game with so many storylines. They were tough to keep up with. One of them was Carlos Martinez closing out the game with his 23rd save of the season. It was the 4th straight day Carlos had worked, just the 2nd time this season he'd done that. Still, Mike Schultz says there was never a question in that situation they'd go with Carlos.
That's just straight heart and, a desire to compete for your team and went out there and, couldn't have been a much bigger stage there at the end with Baez coming off the bench and Carlos getting an opportunity to pitch and just appreciate the whole competition there and the way he embraced it, not only going back out and getting that, being willing to take that inning and 4 days in a row, but also how effective he was.
Since Jordan Hicks got hurt in late June, Carlos has 21 saves, tied for 2nd most in baseball. Dan, he's been huge.
He has been huge, and to set the stage for Carlos, he had to have a couple of home runs. The first by Molina, and then it was DeYoung. The bench went wild. Crazy game. You get that at Wrigley. Game 4 coming up. First pitch and a high fly ball. Left center at the wall. Gone! 1 pitch. He tied it. He tied it. Solo home run. Molina.
That pitch was out of the strike zone. That was an eye-high fastball, and Kimbrel does it again.
And this one driven out to left center. Back to back. Yes! 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 St. Louis on top. 2 bombs, 2 pitches. 9-8 St. Louis. It was a remarkable game number 3. It's been a remarkable series here at Wrigley Field in Chicago, where the Cardinals have won 3 in a row. 78 degrees, rain in the forecast, and with Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes with us as well. The magic number to get into postseason play is 2. Cardinals win today, they're in. The magic number to win the division is at 5. So let's do it. Let's get it on round 4 of this series.
Uno más. Uno más. Will there be one more like the first 3 games? 2 of those games won on home runs, solo home runs on the first pitch. All of them.
Yesterday's game, 4 hours, 24 minutes, the longest 9-inning game ever at Wrigley Field.
Staggering.
St. Louis won their 3rd straight at Wrigley. They have not won A 4-game series, swept a 4-game series since 1921. The GMC lineup for Mike Schilt: Fowler, Edman, Goldschmidt, Ozuna, Molina, Carpenter, DeYoung, Bader, and Michaelis. Yu Darvish on the mound for Chicago with their season in the balance. Start number 31, a record of 6-7. ERA is above 4. He's pitched better here in the second half of the season.
That was back in 1921. That was 2 years after the Black Sox scandal in 1919. Last time the Cardinals have swept the 4-game series here.
It's incredible.
It's unbelievable. All of the things that Dan Hyatt, who does our daily work, picks up from this. I mean, just a plethora of great baseball knowledge.
So here's Dexter Fowler, the former Cub, to lead it off, and the first pitch, a ball. He's 1 RBI shy, by the way, of his career high. Drove in 2 yesterday. He had 64 in 2017, his first with the Cardinals. He had 63 in 2019. Always control is something you talk about with Yu Darvish. Walks can be problematic for him.
217 strikeouts, so an idea that when he gets ahead, he can finish you off. Good split finger fastball, change ups, but he does have a problem with control occasionally.
2 balls, 1 strike. There's no doubting his stuff. The Hyundai pitch arsenal and the fastball, cutter, slider, split finger, curve, changeup. Crowd not as big today as we've seen in the last 3 games here at Wrigley. We'll see if it fills up as we move along with rain in the forecast.
Well, the last 3 games, Danny, let's face it, you know, it's taken some of the starch out of this Wrigley faithful.
Hard not to.
Hard not to. You're right.
May have got him on the ankle or the foot, right below the padding that he has on that lead leg. 2-2 the count on Fowler. Limps back into the batter's box. Shift on the right side of the infield. And a strikeout of Fowler to start the afternoon. And Dexter limping back into the Cardinal dugout. Tommy Edman, 20 games in September, a .319 average. Overall, his average at .292. On base plus slugging, OPS is the stat that is looked at so hard today. And even with Alonso and Hampson of Colorado, it is Tommy Edman, the highest OPS this September by a rookie.
Talking to Ron Darling, who's doing the game on TBS with Ernie Harwell. We were talking about Alonso with 50 home runs for the Mets. In that city, are you kidding me? I think he's going to be the rookie of the year. Easy.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Ron with Ernie Johnson over there. Ernie will be on the NBA before you know it. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Tommy Edman. Yu Darvish, also known as a human rain delay. Someone needs to tell him rain's coming.
It's a good day for it.
Man. Not Mike Hargrove, but holy smokes, get it and go.
Well, the difference between Darvish now and earlier in the year, he was not staying ahead of hitters earlier in the year. His record's only 6-7, but he has 217 strikeouts.
2-2. We've had long games in this series, and it's featured 36 relievers, most ever in any 3-game span between the Cardinals and Cubs all time.
Man.
And you know that Joe Madden specifically will be pulling out all the stops today. The season in the balance.
Yep.
2-2 pitch by Darvish. Back-to-back Ks. Cubs defensively. Schwarber, Hayward, Castellanos in the outfield. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Bryant, Horner, Zobrist, and Rizzo on the infield. Caratini behind the plate.
At the team hotel, I came down on the elevator with Paul Goldschmidt. He said the 3 games that have just been played are the most exciting games that I have ever experienced as a major league player.
It's quite a statement.
That is a pretty good statement, isn't it?
And the dramatics of game 1 with Carpenter, and then the 2-1 game, and then yesterday a typical Wrigley game in a way with the wind blowing out, but you had the balk that then turned into a home run, and then back-to-back homers off Craig Kimbrell.
And as you said, the longest game ever played at Wrigley Field at 4 hours and 24 minutes. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
Molina had the game-tying home run, and the last Cardinal with a home run in the top of the 9th at Wrigley to tie a game was Carlos Beltran in 2012. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Cubs now, overall, they have lost 4 straight games by 1 run. They have lost 5 in a row at Wrigley, and that has never happened with Joe Madden as their manager. One ball and 2 strikes on Goldschmidt. Hit to short, backhanded by Nico Horner in the long throw. Miles Michaelis going for St. Louis. Cardinals go in order. Miles trying to become a 10-game winner. It's Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. Miles Michaelis 9-14. 32nd start in year 2 with St. Louis. Cubs lineup for Joe Madden. Rizzo at the top, then Castellanos and Bryant, Schwarber, Zobrist, Caratini, Hayward, Horner, and Darvish. Presented by GMC. And the first pitch taken for a ball. The pitch arsenal on Miles Michaelis, Hyundai pitch arsenal. So as I mentioned, trying to become a 10-game winner. He'll join some others in double figures in that category. If he can get there, be the 5th Cardinal with 10 or more wins. Hudson 16, yesterday's starter. Wainwright, Flaherty, and Gant are the other 4. Cardinals only had 1 pitcher last year with 10 wins. The guy on the mound. Two 2-0 the count. Shift on the right side. Line right into the glove of Goldschmidt for the first out. Cardinals defensively. Ozuna, Bader, Fowler in the outfield. Carpenter, DeYoung, Edman, Goldschmidt on the infield. Molina behind the plate. Around the Horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
You know, Dan, when you think about it, there are 2 ways for a pitcher to be wild. One is the amount of walks that he gives up, of course. But a more dangerous point of wildness for a pitcher is falling behind in the count, and you don't have a chance to walk a hitter. They get a 2-0 count or a 3-1 count, and that's what's happened to Michaelis more this year than last year. Far more this year than last year.
And also home runs, long ball. Last year he allowed 16. Tied for the 4th fewest home runs allowed in the National League. This year 26, so 10 more than a year ago. That's been a problem.
Yes.
Lined up the middle and past the diving Tommy Edman into center field for Castellanos. Everything he hits is hard.
Everything. I was just thinking that. I mean, we talked about his last at bat yesterday. Hard outs, hard hits. Talk about a guy fighting for the next year as far as a contract is concerned. Back up the truck.
He can hit.
Yes, he can.
Kris Bryant quiet thus far in the series, 2 for 11. It's a 182 average with 5 strikeouts. He's left 8 men on. Strike one. Cardinals have really held him in check. It's been rather boring.
Only 1 home run. Been kind of boring for the Cubs, though.
Well, you may remember Kris Bryant saying that St. Louis could be a little boring. He said that in the offseason, and that's a hit by pitch.
And, you know, and he's not the type of guy to make comments like that.
I'm having a little fun.
I know he's the type of guy you can do that with, but that ball hitting Kris in the left part of his body. I think it got under the left arm. We'll see. The one thing you don't see out of Miles Mikolas is a hit by pitch very often. Every time it seems the Cardinals have needed a double play ball, they've gotten it in this series.
Key one was Schwarber in game 2 with the bases loaded. It went 4-6-3. Runners at first and second now for Chicago. Off speed pitch taken outside. Molina catching again. No surprise there. Day in and day out, he's behind that plate. Zobrist on deck. And a high fly ball. Left field. Ozuna looking for help, and it drops in. He was looking for help. Bader was there, and that ball's got to be caught. And they're all loaded up. Looked like Ozuna wanted no piece of this ball.
Watch him look down. Now he's looking toward Bader. That is a telltale sign that he has lost the ball. Otherwise, he makes the catch.
Wind is blowing out again today. The bases are loaded, and now Zobrist.
This is kind of like the bottom of the first inning of yesterday, even though there aren't the walks that Hudson gave up.
Hudson walked 4 in a row in the first inning yesterday. With the wind blowing out at this ballpark, it's that kind of miscue that can lead to a massive inning.
Yes.
First pitch is strike to Zobrist. That is a single for Schwarber as it dropped between Ozuna and Bader. Inning started with a line out by Rizzo. Castellanos the single to center. Bryant hit by a pitch. Schwarber dropped one between Ozuna and Bader. They're all loaded up.
The out made by the Cubs was the hardest hit ball in this inning.
Here's a 1-1. Swung through it. Not a foul ball. And in and out of the glove of Molina, 1-0 Chicago.
Looked like he may have been crossed up there. We'll see if Yachty goes out to the mound. May have been crossed up, but we'll never know it until after the game. Yeah, that was a cross up. Had to be.
So pass ball, 1-0 Chicago. Infield coming in.
Bryant, one of the better base runners in the National League at third base, gets an excellent jump on balls like this.
Zobrist gave up on the pitch, drops in for his strike. First strikeout for Miles Michaelis. The infield will back up.
Dan, we have seen that all year, the left-handed batters giving up on that breaking ball away outside part of the plate. Good pitch from Michaelis.
Victor Caratini with runners at second and third. Fastball and a strike. Chris Guccione calling the balls and strikes. Bill Welke at first, Mike Everett, the crew chief, at second, Lance Barrett down at third. Popped up on the infield. There's Carpenter. Could have been much worse. Bases loaded, one out. And with that, the Cubs only pick up a run. Ozuna hit a two-run bomb yesterday. He leads it off when we come back. Marcell Ozuna leads it off, and he homered yesterday. He's now one shy of 30. Went down to get it.
Almost hit that ball with the shovel. The ball was exactly 1 foot above the ground. There have only been 4 other home runs hit in the major leagues this year that were lower than the one that Ozuna hit yesterday.
And that's a fact according to StatCast. It was 1.02 feet off the ground. It's the lowest pitch that a Cardinals hitter took deep since StatCast began tracking that in 2015. And it puts him one shy of 30.
Adding to the oddity, yet another oddity of that game.
Yeah. Well, we do know rain is in the forecast, and it is a light drizzle here at the ballpark. And when it starts, we're told it's supposed to hit and then not stop. So we'll see. This is the final home game for Chicago. There are no mutual off days this week. And there's a lot of different scenarios being thrown around about what you might do if you had to make up this game, if it still means something.
Yeah, the Cubs are off tomorrow. The Cardinals are off Thursday, and the Cubs play.
Here's the 0-2. Ozuna reaching for it. Out to left. Schwarber coming in. And did he make the catch? He did. Good play.
He had leather between the ground and the ball. Good play by Schwarber.
Here's Yadier Molina. It was his 540th career extra base hit yesterday. Next one will tie him with Ted Simmons' 10th all-time by a Cardinal. First pitch, jumped on it against Craig Kimbrell.
I saw Ted Simmons in 1973 hit more balls on the barrel of the bat than any player I'd ever played with. That was in 1973. He had to hit 380 line drives. Now, some were caught, but most were hits.
This one caught in the bleachers. That tied the game. Kimbrell, 23 games, 1 home run allowed before this weekend against St. Louis. This weekend, 2 games, 3 homers allowed. A strikeout of Molina, and Yu Darvish has seen 5 and struck out 3.
Yeah, yesterday, I don't think Yadier Molina had sat down before Paul DeJong hit his home run on the first pitch.
The bench reaction was priceless, wasn't it?
Unbelievable, yes.
As you said, grown men acting like kids. That's what this game can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's Carpenter, who had the dramatic home run in Game 1. 13 home runs. He's driven in 42. 229 the average. This was Thursday off at Kimbrel. Cardinals gave up a lead late and then regained it in the 10th. Ben Fredrickson of the Post-Dispatch was telling me that after that game they went through the refrigerator in the locker room, you know, looking for water, Gatorade or something. And deep inside that fridge was an old bottle of Matt Carpenter's salsa from a year ago. So maybe it had something to do with it.
They have been hot, no question about it.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, that is.
The irony of that, Carpenter finding the salsa from last year. Loves hitting at this ballpark. Big numbers here at Wrigley, especially in the last year and a half. One ball and 2 strikes. Taken high, and it's even now at 2-2.
There aren't too many starters that start the game from the stretch. Darvish, one of them.
Strikes out 2 here in the second, 4 in the game. 1-0 Chicago midway through 2. Paul DeJong had the blast right after Yadier Molina. Then the club was having a blast in the clubhouse, weren't they, Jim Hayes?
No question about it. You know, some folks may have been surprised by the Cardinals' surge to get to the doorstep of the postseason, but not the Cardinal players. Paul DeJong told me we knew early on what we had in our clubhouse. It just took a while to get in sync. We just kept feeding off each other's energy. Once it got to crunch time, guys could smell blood. And then the energy Paul referred to was on full display yesterday. Perhaps the most animated Cardinal dugout I've ever seen. It was wild, Danny.
Yeah, it reminded me the night that John Mabry hit a home run to center on the what is statistically the greatest comeback ever in Cardinals history at Cincinnati.
That was in Houston? Oh, in Cincinnati.
The Great American Ballpark, and the dugout just went crazy. It was very reminiscent. Rain picks up. Here's Jason Hayward. He lines it to Goldschmidt for the out.
That's how the first inning started. A line drive to Goldschmidt.
Talked to Paul DeJong when the Cardinals did not make a move at the trade deadline, and many, me included, thought, wow, you know, they need something. You know, need a little pitching in the back end, and
somebody like Castellanos,
or pitching. They needed a 5th starter too, as Walker at that point in time was going in and out of the rotation. And this is Nico Horner, and Paul said you can look at it 2 different ways. Either we have really good prospects, and you don't want to give up those guys, which Dylan Carlson is one that comes to mind. Everybody in the world asking for him. The young
outfielder. There are a bunch of guys that come to mind, really. You think about the Cardinal AAA team and their minor league system.
Or the other way to look at it is, hey, this front office believes we can win, and we've got enough to win, and it's on us. It's incumbent on us to pull it together and get it going. He said, I'd like to look at it that way. They believe in us. And we did talk to players that said that, and he said, you know, we all needed to come together and just figure it out.
Well, in retrospect, that was the right thinking.
Yeah, it was the right move too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They backed up their thinking with action, or lack of action. John Mozeliak, that is.
The 2-2. Was texting this morning with John Mozeliak, who is trying to find a plane ride here to Chicago to join the club. He'll be with us in Arizona for sure. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back. Brought the glove to the ballpark, in and out. Had it and lost it. Two balls, two strikes on Nico Horner. 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup for Chicago here in the home half of the second.
And the Cardinal players aren't by no means satisfied with the fact that any win, they'll be eligible to play in postseason.
They want the division.
They want the division, exactly. So many more perks, you might say, for teams that win the division.
Base hit into center. Reminder that St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com. Yu Darvish with 3 sacrifices this season and batting .094 overall. Molina will go to second. Out there, double play.
Yachty sniffed a double play there. That ball was not bunted that far out in front of home plate. Yachty really no chances to take. Perfect throw to second, and the turn by DeYoung, double play. Nice.
Ponchos are out, rain falling, and Fox Sports Go. Download that for your favorite supported devices. Fox Sports Go.
Ponchos for the umpires. I don't think I've ever seen that at the beginning of an inning. Ponchos given to the umpires. The feeling that, well, the players aren't using them, but the umpires are. Interesting.
Toyota, key to the game.
How about one more? Uno más. Uno más. Mike Schultz certainly hopeful of that. Hard pressed to find more exciting games than the first 3 here. DeYoung for the lead. Cardinals win it. It stands up 9-8.
And a strike to Paul DeYoung underway here in the 3rd inning. Kubota power stats, the middle of the lineup. Goldschmidt, a couple of runs batted in. That was early. Ozuna midway. And then DeYoung late. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Paul DeYoung. And DeYoung hits it down the left field line. This one is way out of here. He's done it again for number 29. And we're tied 1-1.
Go ahead, Paul. Wave to Waveland. Waveland Street running behind the left field wall and stands here at Wrigley Field. Second home run in a row by Paul DeYoung, and he murdered this ball. Wow. hammered. They'd throw it back, but it's too far away.
And Bader hits it out of play.
Paul had to be setting on that fastball up. He is a good high ball hitter. He's proven that over the last couple of years.
Out to Waveland Avenue. Some of the home run hawkers are out there ready for that ball. Happy birthday to Mary Claire Bina. She manages our party suites and all-inclusive sales for the ball club. So happy birthday to Mary Claire. And she's been involved with Cardinals baseball for a long time. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And a strikeout of Bader.
Joe Torre's favorite line about hitting: never let a pitcher get you outside with 2 strikes.
5th strikeout for Darvish, and that was his first looking. And now Miles Michaelis with 1 out, tied up 1-1.
Strike 1 will make you a better pitcher, won't it, Dan?
Big time, especially with all the weapons that he has.
Biggest pitch in any count is strike 1 on the hitter.
Strike 2. And Michaelis strikes out. That's 6. First time through the lineup. The ballpark app. Homer Road. Exclusive content and offers at the ballpark app. Fowler, even last inning, looking in the Cardinal dugout, he was walking and still limping after he fouled the ball off his front leg. Showing bunt, and that would tell you he's feeling better. Maybe the element of surprise.
2 guys with bad wheels on either side. One is Anthony Russo, the first baseman, or Rizzo, I beg your pardon, and Dexter Fowler, who hit a ball off his right foot, his first at bat.
And that's back to Darvish, and he'll flip it over to Rizzo. The home run hit by DeYoung. He is one shy of 30. Cardinals have 1 hit today. That home run. And we're tied 1-1. Connection to the game. The Padres fire Andy Green, their manager. Tampa Bay 3 straight wins. They have a 1-game lead in the 2nd spot for the AL wildcard race, and Milwaukee has won 14 of 16. As a matter of fact, they are 10-2 since Christian Yelich went down with his season-ending fractured kneecap. T-Mobile's connection to the game. They are 3 back of St. Louis for the division lead.
Tampa Bay's already won 92 games.
Yeah. Rizzo, a fair ball. That'll be off the sidewall and only a single. Well, he's done his part to keep Chicago in this.
Has he ever? 3 for 5 yesterday. Hit 2 balls hard today. A line drive to first and this.
He's 6 for 12 in this series with a home run batted in, and a walk.
On one leg.
There's Castellanos, who scored on the pass ball and also singled to center. Chris Bryant on deck, and there's strike one.
Story of this game thus far. 2 balls that were out of play. 1 hit by DeYoung and 1 by trying to be fielded by Ozuna in left field. Lost it in the sun, or the haze here. Strange.
Nothing in 2. Very short lead at first by Rizzo. Maybe a 3-step lead outside.
I think in fairness too, Dan, when you look at the Chicago Cubs, you look at Javier Baez, the loss of a guy like that, who is a great player and everybody knows her, one of the finest athletes that anybody has ever seen in either league. Shocking almost that he hit last night. He pinch hit. It
was desperation.
That's right. That's the word.
Could this be the final game that Joe Madden manages at Wrigley Field as the Cubs skipper? A lot of talk that his future in down with Chicago. Put it this way, it'll be a different looking Chicago Cubs team next year when we come here. There's a strikeout of Castellanos. Would he be back with Chicago? Chris Bryant, Addison Russell. I mean, there's a lot of question marks surrounding their franchise right now.
Kyle Schwarber.
It's a second strikeout for Miles Michaelis. Also struck out Zobrist.
You know, when you lose, there are no fixtures on the team anymore. All of a sudden, a guy like Chris Bryant said they'll never get rid of him. Well, don't know now.
Double play ball out there in the turn, and the second double play the Cardinals have turned as Bryant went into the bag. Very, very odd, and he is shook up.
Looked like he lunged that last several feet and tripped on the bag. Maybe with his back foot. We'll take a look at it when we come back, I think. Ouch.
It's his ankle. Twist his ankle, maybe. Ian Happ will take over for Bryant, who slipped on the bag at first base. And remember, it has been raining, a light drizzle here at the ballpark, and you got to wonder if that was the reason why he slipped off the bag. But slipped with the right foot and then twisted his ankle. Nasty.
Ian Happ over at third base, rewarded for his pinch hit home run in yesterday's game. Thing about yesterday's game also, it seemed like every hit was a big hit for both sides.
They were.
They were.
Yeah.
They proved to be. Yeah.
5 lead changes in that ball game. Cardinals will have Edman, Goldschmidt, and Ozuna. It was the first time the Cardinals hit back-to-back home runs against the Cubs to erase a deficit, then take the lead at any venue, Busch Stadium, Wrigley, ever. And this is the 80th series St. Louis has played at Wrigley that was 4 or more games. Only once have they pulled off a 4-game sweep at Wrigley. Last time 1921. Edman 0 for 2. Here's Goldschmidt, hit the ball hard his first time up to short. He's 0 for 1. Well, you give Mike Shields so much credit and the staff staying with the team, as we mentioned, and keeping things together. Cardinals went 0 for 5 on that West Coast swing through Oakland and LA, with the final game being a walk-off against Carlos Martinez. And since then, it's been a different team, led by their pitching, as we showed you in that graphic, since August 9th, first in wins and ERA. Home runs allowed. The opponent OPS is first and saves is first. And their second half winning percentage, one of the best in all of baseball.
And that last game against the Dodgers, where Russell Martin had 2 strikes for about 3 foul balls, and he got a hit off Carlos Martinez. They lost that game. They were 0-5 on that trip. And turning that around was the key to the season, I think.
Certainly a big moment. Mike is, as we all know, is very even keel, doesn't get too high, too low. He backs his players, and they back him.
Pretty good reward system, huh? You back me and I'll back you.
Yeah. Now you're going to have guys that disagree with moves you make or frustration over playing time. That's with every single manager. But for the most part, it's all stayed together.
Yeah.
They respect him. A little bit low, and it's 2-2. But he talked about 2 clear initiatives. 1, clean up the defense. They've done that. 2, clean up the base running. They've done that.
They're better at base running. Still need some work next spring, in my view.
Well, there aren't many better statistically. Goldschmidt, a base hit into center on a 2-2. Hanging breaking ball, and Goldschmidt singles to center, and that's the second Cardinal hit.
And the second time Goldschmidt has hit a ball hard.
Here's Marcell Ozuna. And a grounder, slowly hit to short, 6-4. 3. Cardinals will take a look. Ali Marmol is on the phone. The video team of the Cardinals, and no challenge. So 6-4-3 on the double play. We're midway through 4. It's 1-1.
Tied at 1 in Chicago. Colton Wong out with a left hamstring strain. He was examined by doctors again yesterday. They told him it's a grade 2 strain. Colton told me he's going to back off for now and focus on being ready for the playoffs. He may even skip the trip to Arizona. He wasn't sure when I talked to him this morning, Dan.
That's yanked foul by Schwarber. So, Jimmy, you did talk to Colton Wong. Let's keep his microphone open if we could, please. I know that you wanted to get out of the way in case that was a home run, just a long foul ball. So Wong Let's go ahead and repeat that. He's going to miss obviously today and the Arizona series. Is that what you know?
He said he may even skip the trip to Arizona. He wasn't sure when I spoke to him this morning, but he was considering that because he didn't think that would necessarily help the hamstring. Colton told me this, Dan: I don't want to push too hard, make it worse, and miss the playoffs. And Mike Shildt echoing Colton's approach, saying when you're dealing with a hamstring, you can't be too careful. So Colton initially wanted to push it because he wanted to help his ball club, Danny. After seeing the doctors and talking to them, he realized better to focus on the long-term goal, which is trying to contribute during the postseason, where the Cardinals are very hopeful they're headed.
All right, Jimmy, good stuff as always. Thank you. It's a big player that's being missed right now, no doubt. Here's a 1-2 pitch.
And just kind of food for thought. I remember Charlie Manuel, who was a rock star manager for the Philadelphia Phillies, told me about 8 years ago. He said, Tim, Tim, all managers are in the hands of the doctors nowadays. And in a sense, he makes sense with that comment.
Out of play. Well, if he's hurt, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, well, that's right.
But he might be the Gold Glover. He's got 24 steals, and he's hitting .350 in the second half. That's a big miss.
Yes, it is. A lot of years ago, I mean, it seemed that doctors were not employed to the degree that they are nowadays, for better or for worse.
3-2 the count here on Schwarber.
I think he's getting a curveball here. And I was wrong.
So the rare walk by Miles Michaelis, leadoff walk in a 1-1 game here in the bottom of the fourth. Reminder, there is nothing like the excitement of Cardinals postseason action at Busch Stadium. Tickets for potential wild card and division series home games in St. Louis on sale now. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit cardinals.com/postseason. Here's Ben Zobrist, who struck out back in the first inning with a couple of runners on. Double play ball again. 4-6-3 on a double play, and that's the third turn by the Cardinals.
That is a nice turn by Tommy Edman. A backhand flip. He did it once yesterday, but it's really one of the beauty parts of the game at second base. Instead, you don't have time to square up and throw the ball hard to the shortstop. You might buckle him up anyway, but you softly feed it to him like a basketball player.
And the decision has to be made immediately that you're going to shovel pass and not go for a tag or flip your hips for a throw, whatever.
You think the ball is hit hard, but you're not really sure.
Really good play.
Yeah, it really is. He's fun to watch and fun to talk about.
DeYoung has been involved with the most double plays of any shortstop. Talking with Mike Shildt the other day, I asked him, I said, what do you think the best position is for Tommy Edman? You've got him in right, you got him at third, you got him at second. I said probably second base, but man, do we feel comfortable the more we watch him anywhere we play him. I agree. Just play him, baby.
And of course you have Colton Wong at second base, who probably will get a Gold Glove this year.
2-1 the count on Victor Caratini, who popped up with 2 runners on back in the first into threat. Three and 1.
We talked about this yesterday, but I think Tommy Edman gives John Mozeliak breathing room. Whatever you want to do, you can keep him at second, third, the outfield.
DeYoung can't get there, and a base hit. He's playing towards the bag, and a 2-out hit for Victor Caratini. Yeah, to your point, you can get creative in what you want to do.
Sure, sure.
Gives you flexibility.
And that creativity would shock all of us if we found out that creativity included Tommy Edman in a trade. That's not going to happen the way I view it.
No. No.
No. No.
No, sir.
Nope.
There's Jason Hayward. And Hayward on the first pitch pops it up. Shallow center. Bader calling off Ozuna to make the catch. Cubs have left 3 on today. We head to the 5th. Final Goodwill autograph night is Friday night. Ford Plaza stage. Mike Myers will be signing autographs. Al Raboski and Mike Tyson as well. That's this Friday, and the Cubs will be in town. Here's Yadier Molina. Molina struck out his first time up. Light drizzle continues to fall here at Wrigley Field. Yesterday, Molina passed Ozzie and Marty Marion for most games played at Wrigley by a Cardinal. Today, number 105. He's now 8th all time. He said after the game, I've been playing in this ballpark for a long time. Got a pretty good idea of where the ball was flying out. Yes, he did.
First ball hitting and the home run, and it flew out.
One and two the count.
So far in this series, this is the fastest 4 innings that these two teams have played by far.
Yeah, normally we'd be in the second. The way things have been going. Double plays will help that out, and so far we have had 4 double plays.
Both pitchers, for the most part, staying ahead in the count.
Definitely throwing strikes.
Yeah.
Darvish 77% strikes through 4 innings. Michael is 63%. So that'll keep the game moving. One and two the count on Yadier Molina. Carpenter on deck, and then DeYoung. And Yadi strikes out. Rare that he strikes out a couple of times in a game.
Boy, that was a disappearing slider. Hats off to Darvish. That was a nasty breaking ball right there. Very quick, just off the plate away. Good 2-strike pitch.
Carpenter struck out back in the second. 0 for 1. Shift on the right side. So Arizona tomorrow night will have the first 2 games of that series for you. Adam Wainwright against Alex Young. Jack Flaherty against Mike Leake. Leake pitched against St. Louis earlier this year and was tremendous with Seattle. Michael Wacha and Merrill Kelly in game 3. Games 1 and 2 on Fox Sports Midwest. Since July 9th of last year, Carpenter with 7 home runs in 15 games here at Wrigley. The 2-0 pitch. Down and in, 3-0.
I would imagine Mike Schilt will turn Matt Carpenter loose. Hope he gets a cookie from Darvish. Wind blowing out, by the way, 17 miles an hour, exactly the way it was yesterday at the beginning of the game.
3-0 pitch here to Carpenter.
Like a breaking ball on a 3-0 count. Slider.
Three 1. 3-2.
And major league hitters hate check swings on 3-1 counts or 3-0 counts or 2-0 counts. If you have it with 2 strikes, it's understandable. Sometimes you just go too far.
Three-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play. Struck him out, comes back to get him. 8 strikeouts for Darvish. Nissan drive of the game, and it was Paul DeJong on the first pitch. His solo home run back in the 3rd. Cardinals with 2 hits today. And also with a base hit to center.
Here's a point, Dan. If you just hit a home run in your previous time at bat, don't look for the same pitch you hit a home run on in the 1st or 2nd pitch. Look for a breaking ball here, because that's probably what it's going to be. You hit the fastball out of the ballpark.
Off-speed pitch inside. He's now got 29 home runs. He's driven in 77. He played a very solid shortstop defensively.
Sure has.
Total of 7 errors this year, playing every day. 2 balls and no strikes as Caratini holds that baseball, and both he and Darvish thought they had a strike. That will not endear yourself to Chris Guccione, the home plate umpire.
No, it won't.
They shift here on DeJong on the left side.
We saw Ben Zobrist at second base yesterday moving around. We talked about Ted Williams, how he complained about that. And the umpires had kind of a gentleman's agreement back in the middle 50s to make infielders not do that. Jumping up and down the whole bit, and it looks like a distraction to the hitter, and might be.
Center field, Hayward under it and makes the catch. Midway through 5, we're tied 1-1. Our score. Home half of the 5th inning. Nico Horner, 2 strikes, single to center back in the 2nd inning. Then Yu Darvish and Anthony Rizzo. Ground ball, third base. Carpenter on a short hop. Nice play.
Very nice.
Thought that might eat him up. That's a tough play.
It's a, you know, it's a difference between said a short hop, and it is a short hop, but it's more like an in-between hop, which is the toughest. The short hops you can kind of catch close to your mitt, but those that come up a little bit more distance from you are much, much tougher to field.
As Darvish tried to bunt with a runner on back in the 2nd inning, bunted it, and it was dead and out in front of the plate, and Yachty turned that into a 2-6-3 double play. One Al Raboski will be part of our Lou Fuse this date in history. It's 35 years ago. The benches would clear. Shockingly with Al. Bill Madlock at the plate. Strikeout of Yu Darvish. Bill did not like Al and his psych up routine. And all of a sudden Ted Simmons got involved. The benches would clear. Al would get the win in the game. Pitched 2 shutout innings behind Bob Gibson. Bottom of the 9th, tied 5-5. Al even got a hit. Got to hit in that game, but then he flew out to right. Brock singled. Sizemore flew out. Reggie Smith walked. Winning run on second. Ted Simmons single to center. Walked off the Cubs. Our Lou Fuse this date in baseball history. Al, one of the great characters of the game.
Yes, he was. You know that Bill Madlock won 4 batting titles?
Yes.
4. All with the Cubs, I believe. I think that's right. I'm not sure about that.
Win one with the Pirates?
I don't know. Not sure.
There's Anthony Rizzo, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
He could flat out hit, though, I'll tell you that.
Rizzo is lined out to first and also single to right. Our thanks to the good folks at Lou Fuse, and you can see more at fuse.com. Rizzo is 7 for 19 against Miles Michaelis. Got him out in front, and Michaelis will flip to Goldschmidt. We played 5. We're tied 1-1 here in game 4. Spring training will be here before you know it, and be a part of it through Cardinals Vacations. One thing that has kind of surprised me in this series is with Rizzo dealing with a bad wheel, if you will, and can't move. The Cardinals have not tried to really bunt against him. Maybe that's something the Bader would think about here. If you get it past Darvish, it's a base hit.
Yeah. Idea. You don't know whether he's just taking on that pitch or thinking about bunting. If he does it again, however, he's thinking about bunting. We talked about that with Dexter Fowler yesterday. A bunt push toward first base. Good idea. think Harrison, I don't think he's done it as much since his return from Memphis.
A ball and a strike. Darvish is allowed 2 hits, a solo home run by DeYoung, and a single to Goldschmidt. That has been it. Bader struck out his first time up. Michaelis on deck, and then Fowler. 1-2. Cardinals, if they can win today, they are in postseason play. And Bader lifts a fly ball into right. Castellanos with the catch, 1 away. St. Louis Cardinals baseball brought to you by Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. Come try the new really big chicken sandwich combo starting at $3.99 only at Jack in the Box, and by Toyota. Let's go places. Michael is struck out back in the 3rd. Darvish with 8 strikeouts today. 6 swinging, 2 looking.
Miles Michaelis takes his hacks up there. Home run, his first at bat against Zach Davies in Milwaukee last year.
Homered in the final spring game this year off of Steven Strasburg.
That's pretty heavy duty.
Yeah.
What a key game that was for the Cardinals.
Oh, man.
To beat Steven Strasburg, and then 2 days later,
Max Scherzer.
Yeah, that's all.
0-2. And right before, on that Sunday a week ago, Ryan Braun may have saved the season for the Brewers with a grand slam.
With a grand salami, yeah.
And the 1-2. Strikeout number 9. Here's Dexter Fowler. The Cardinals 88-67, 22 above the 500 mark, 3-game lead in the Central. Magic number for the division sits at 5. Magic number for postseason play at 2. So win today, coupled with a Cubs loss, obviously, in the head-to-head, puts you in. They're now a game above the 500 mark on the road, 39-38. It's pretty simple. I mean, and it's hard to do, but win at home, 500 on the road, win inside your division, and that combination usually means you're in at least contention for postseason play.
That has been the way that general managers and managers have figured it out over the years. Of course, you go to the exceptions like the Yankees. Already won 100 games, over 100, I think 102, right?
They come into play today at 101-55.
101.
They're 45-31 on the road. .33 above 500 in their division.
That's big.
1-2 the count on Fowler, who is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. Cardinals, after the road trip through Arizona, return home, and they are 20 games above 500 at Busch. Final 3 of the year against Chicago. 1-2 pitch. Strikeout of Fowler. 10 strikeouts through 6 innings for Yu Darvish. Miles Michaelis matched up with Yu Darvish today. The BJC Healthcare difference maker. The 5 innings, the 5 hits, 1 run. Walked 1, he has struck out 3. BJC Healthcare difference maker. 3 double plays turned behind him. Nicholas Castellanos scored on a pass ball back in the 1st inning. First inning, the Cubs had bases loaded, 1 out. They scored 1. As the rain continues to fall, light rain here at the ballpark. Yu Darvish, his 3rd consecutive 10 strikeout game. 6th of the season. His season high for strikeouts, 14. He did that against San Diego. Most recently, he struck out 13 Reds. He's got 10 through 6 innings today.
Miles looking like he looked last year today. Hitting corners, changing speeds. It's a certain rhythm to that flow that's edifying for the Cardinals.
George Springer has hit 3 home runs today for Houston.
Oh boy.
In the first 4 innings against the Angels as the Astros go for a division clinching win.
That means that the Astros have scored a lot of runs, obviously, but it also means that George Springer may be up 3 more times easily. Through 5 innings, if you're scoring a lot of runs, that could be the case.
Milwaukee leading Pittsburgh. That's 2-0 in the 6th inning of their game. 2-2 the count on Castellanos, then Ian Happ on deck. Schwarber after that. Happ replaced Bryant, who sprained his ankle. Trying to leg out and beat out a double play back in the 3rd. Slipped on the bag at first. The 2-2.
Not only is Milwaukee surprising a lot of people because they are without Christian Yelich, but their pitching has been just exceptional, and I think a surprise to everybody.
Through 6, they're tossing a perfect game.
Oh my gosh.
Gio Gonzalez made that start. 2-2 pitch to Castellanos.
But
spoiled again.
He's not still in there.
I think it's now the bullpen. Yeah.
So it's up to the bullpen. One of the better bullpens, and certainly in the National League.
3 pitchers have been used already in that game.
That's Craig Counsell for you.
Yeah. That's how he manages, and certainly late in a season. Castellanos with a single to center, run scored and struck out. 1 for 2 today. The 2-2 pitch, Michaelis. Line foul.
It's that unusual way that Castellanos points that left foot inward like that, and it straightens out with his slide, with his stride. Not too many players have that particular type of turned in left foot as a right-handed batter.
And a high fly ball, deep left center. Bader back, and it's 2-1 Chicago.
Home run number 27. That's for Detroit and Chicago. Wind blowing out, no way to keep this ball in, as strong as Castellanos is.
Pulled foul by Ian Happ, the switch hitter.
How about the job that Castellanos has done in about 7 weeks?
If you're the Cubs, you got to think about bringing him back, right?
Got to. I would think, Dan.
Free agent to be. Happ came off the bench yesterday and homered. Pinch hit home run. And the 0-2.
And if you're Castellanos, I mean, playing at Wrigley Field, are you kidding me? The size market that you have here, the wind blowing out a lot. It's a little different than Comerica Park, one of the toughest ballparks in the majors to hit home runs. So everything points to him signing with the Cubs.
Strikeout number 4 for Michaelis. It's not a great free agency class, and
another point. Yeah, good point.
Might be bidding against a lot of different teams that need a bat.
Yeah. It's an ideal spot for Castellanos.
Here's Schwarber, who has walked and also singled. Key play now in the game was the ball that dropped between Ozuna and Bader, and a ball that should have been caught.
Yep.
And was back in the first inning. 2-1 our score here in the bottom of the 6th. Strike 1. Oh, 2 our crowd today, 38,606, 38,606. And the final home game of the season for the Chicago Cubs, regular season play. 0-2 pitch. As Tim Minich mentioned, it'll be an off day tomorrow for the Cubs, and then head out on the road at Pittsburgh for 3 and then at St. Louis. Season total here at this ballpark just over $3 million this year. Got him to reach way out in front. Goldschmidt steps on the bag for the out.
Best way to keep him from reaching is to have him reach.
Say what?
Best way to keep him from reaching base, implied. Make him reach one-handed.
I got your drift now.
All right, brother.
Zobrist called out on strikes with 2 runners on in the first and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play.
It's where the hitter is totally fooled and releases that top hand, and he just one-hands it to an infielder.
Cardinals in the 7th inning will have Edman, Goldschmidt, Ozuna coming up. Here's a 1-0. Just off the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch count at 78 for Miles Michaelis. Both pitchers efficient today. Center, Bader, just enough room. Zobrist gave it a ride. The home run hit by Castellanos, and the Cubs on top. It's now 2-1. Hall of Famer and humanitarian Roberto Clemente dedicated his life to helping others. Major League Baseball annually honors the player who best exemplifies Clemente's spirit. Adam Wainwright, the Cardinals Clemente nominee for his charitable works. Visit MLB.com/Clemente21 to vote for Waino. Rain picked up at the tail end of the bottom of the 6th inning, and now it's raining pretty hard here in the 7th. Cardinals trailing 2-1. Here's Tommy Edman. Darvish has struck out 10. Rain more of a nuisance than anything else to stop the game.
Yeah, so far.
Did work on the mound between innings. The grounds crew here at Wrigley. Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. And the 1-1 pitch to Tommy Edman, hitless today. He struck out and also grounded out.
Talked about Kyle Schwarber making an out the bottom half of the 6th inning by reaching, and that's what Darvish has done a good job of with Cardinal hitters today. He's made them reach for the most part. They have not had a whole lot of good pitches to hit.
Here's a 1-2. And Edman with that called strike on him. You could just see he was reaching on that last pitch. He felt he had to protect.
Yes, right. No walks for Darvish. Only 2 base runners. A home run by DeYoung. And Paul Goldschmidt's base hit to center.
And there's a base hit for Tommy Edman. And the Cardinals have something going here in their half of the 7th.
That looked about as high as the ball Marcelo Zuna hit yesterday. Hit it with a rake.
Went down to get it.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be frustrating for Darvish. You think you make a pretty good pitch like that, and it gets whacked into left. Edman certainly a threat to steal. He's got 13 on the year.
Caratini, a good thrower behind the plate. He's not what Contreras is, their other catcher.
Darvish not quick to the plate. Keep that in mind. That was 1-5 to the plate, and that means go time.
What do you do if you're a runner over there? You try to pick a breaking ball on which to run. Slower to get to the catcher. Usually has to be down more than a fastball.
You got to wonder about footing too if you're Tommy Edman.
Yeah, you almost don't know, do you?
Nope.
You know?
Initial X-rays do not reveal a fracture for Bryant, so sprained right ankle is what they're calling it. Oh, 1 pitch to Goldschmidt. 0-2. Hitters talk about it all the time with the helmets when it rains. The drops of rain that collect on the bill of the helmet, then all of a sudden you try to swing and it's in your face.
It's like trying to swing with the wipers on.
Fouled back.
That was a mistake right there by Darvish. He hadn't made many today. He didn't want that pitch to be as good as it was.
A little bigger lead this time for Tommy Edman. See if he wants to do some running. 2-1 our score, and the 0-2 pitch. Darvish thinking the same thing, maybe.
The one thing that Tommy doesn't want to do is put his hands on his knees. If your hands are on your knees, you have to take them off before you run, and that thwarts a good lead and a good jump.
Got him. 11 today for Darvish. Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna today hit one to left, a diving catch by Schwarber, and also grounded into a 6-4-3 double play.
Talked about it before. Ozuna 0 for 18 before that home run, the 2-run shot yesterday. You think right field, you'll be all right. That front shoulder will be in there. Don't pull out too soon. Almost like that left shoulder for Ozuna. It's like a guided muscle. It leads you down the right path to success.
The 0-1 in the dirt. Darvish, no walks today, 11 strikeouts, 3 hits. He has done his part.
Yes, he has. He's been a hot pitcher with no results, 6 and 7 coming into the game. And he's a better pitcher than that.
Here's a 1-1. Pirates have recorded a hit now, so the perfect game through. Pittsburgh leading, or rather trailing, excuse me, 4-0 to Milwaukee. So Brewers on top by 4 runs. Back to Darvish. Double play. Game summary, 2-1 Chicago. Michaelis pitching into the 7th. DeYoung a home run. Yu Darvish has struck out 11 through 7. And Castellanos the go-ahead home run back in the 6th inning. The rain has been falling basically all day long. Let's check in with Jim.
Yeah, Carlos Martinez likely not available today, and that's understandable. Carlos closed out yesterday's win, getting his 23rd save. It was the 4th straight day on which Carlos had pitched. It was just the 2nd time this season. He worked 4 straight days. Carlos told me my arm was a little tired, but they needed me. When Yachty hit that home run, I ran to the mound in the bullpen and said, let's go. And Dan, since August 7th, Carlos has appeared in 18 games for the Cardinals. The Cards 18-0 in those games.
It was 4 straight games that Martinez had appeared in, and maybe running on fumes, but boy, did they need him yesterday, and he came through.
Certainly did. 18-0.
Victor Caratini pulls it foul, 2-1. Michaelis is allowed 1 walk. That was erased on a double play back in the 4th. 6 hits. He struck out 4.
Very few times with the wind blowing out in this ballpark do you have 3 runs scored in 6.5 innings? And I mean the wind is whistling out in center field.
2-1 pitch. 2-2. Just honored Gary Pressey, longtime organist here at Wrigley Field. 2,687 consecutive games he's been tickling the twine.
Nice.
Nice man.
Yes, he is.
Retires after this year. Longtime organist here at Wrigley, began in 1987. Pulled foul again. Full count on Caratini. 85 pitches today for Miles Michaelis. Bader in center for the first out.
Pitch selection took the sting off that fly ball to center field. Caratini hit that ball off the end of the bat. It was a curveball.
The batter is Hayward. He's lined out to first and fly to center 0 for 2.
Both pitchers have just been terrific, huh, Dan?
Well pitched, both sides. Completely the opposite of the other 3 games that really we've had.
Yeah, right.
Strike 1 to Hayward. Cardinals will have Molina, Carpenter, and DeYoung. And we talk about what the Cardinals may do in a safe situation. Martinez probably not available today. Flip that around as Edman retires Hayward. With what's gone on with Kimbrel in this series, it's something to think about.
They asked Kimbrel yesterday if he would be ready today. He said absolutely. Now that's the nature of a closer with the status of Kimbrel. But you wonder about Joe Madden. He's the guy who's got to make the move, not Craig.
Nico Horner, base hit to center and also grounded out. 2 outs here in the home half of the 7th. 2-1 our score. Again, Molina, Carpenter, DeYoung due up. DeYoung has scored and provided a little offense in this game with a home run for St. Louis. His 29th of the year. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Only 3 base runners for St. Louis. Goldschmidt single, Edmonds single, and the home run by DeYoung.
Off the mound, Michaelis flips over to first for the out. We head to the 8th. 2-1. Calendar turns and the action ramps up. Baseball's brightest young stars take center stage. The postseason begins Tuesday. Week from this Tuesday, MLB.com/postseason for all the schedule. Cardinals win today. They assure themselves a spot in the postseason. Division magic number sits at 5.
They have 6 outs to score at least 1 run. And you have to think, Dan, that if Molina gets on, particularly first, Got to think about a pinch runner, maybe Rosarena.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still really intrigued at what you might do with if you had a long inning here and it's a save situation in the ninth. Do you go with Kimbrel?
About Kimbrel.
Yeah.
Well, the guy's got a 3-year contract. I mean, that's a point. So he's going to be with the Cubs next year and the year after that. So that could enter into the thinking of Joe Madden. Wouldn't you think? No.
I see your point. I see both points. Yeah.
I feel strongly both ways.
Because Joe Madden might be saying, I might not be here next year, and this is it.
That's a very good point.
Longest outing of the season for Darvish, 8 innings. He has 2 career complete games, and those are with Texas. That's it, only 2. Yachty swinging at the first pitch. He's 0 for 2 today. He struck out. Darvish with 11. This might be one of those where Yu has been so good, and Joe Madden says, I'm going down with him or I'm going to win with him. We'll see.
You know, if any Cub pitcher deserves it, Darvish deserves to be a master of his fate.
Molina hits it sharply to short. Corner to his left and makes a nice play. Pitching matchups for Arizona presented by Budweiser are what's on tap, and tomorrow we'll have it for you. Wainwright against Alex Young. Earlier this year against the Mets, it was at New York at Citi Field. Darvish went 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned, walked 1, struck out 7, picked up a win. Here's Carpenter, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts as the rain continues to fall here at Wrigley. Strike 1. Andrew Miller and Tyler Webb throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. Darvish spot due up first, looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th.
When he has been missing, it's been close. One swing of the bat by Matt Carpenter. Could be a real moneymaker right here. Hit the ball against the Cub reliever to center field the other night on the first pitch.
One and 2.
I'm thinking about Joe Madden and him maybe not being here next year. Very interesting point.
And so much talk about that here locally, and
sure,
he'll have a job, though. You know that.
Oh yeah.
Here's a 1-2. And Carpenter hits it out to right, and it drops in front of Castellanos. He wanted to go for it, but didn't.
Yeah, he couldn't have seen that ball. That ball did not bounce that far in front of him. Letting it drop. But of course, if he goes for it and he gets by him, then you got Carpenter on at third base. But still, I think that's playing it extra cautious if you're Castellanos.
Munoz will run for Carpenter. Here's to Young, who is homered. His 29th. He's now driven in 77. He's 1 for 2. Nobody throwing in the Cub bullpen. Here we are again, a one-run game late and some drama. Cubs, Cardinals, pennant race.
Wrigley.
Great. He homered yesterday, homered earlier today. First pitch now to DeYoung. Taken for a strike.
That's a dangerous pitch right there, as was his first time up with a home run in the third. Hey, if I'm Darvish, I got to stay away from DeYoung right here.
Munoz, the runner at first base. Caratini sets up way outside, and that was a missed spot, but swung through and missed.
Yeah, he threw that ball hard. He did miss it. That's what pitchers do sometimes. They're
Oh boy, that's right down the middle.
Right down the pipe.
Today for Yu Darvish.
He reached back on those last two pitches. They were not located well, but they were thrown well. Looked like a split to get DeYoung that last pitch.
Matt Wieters will pinch hit for Bader. Reminder that Cardinals baseball brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. So the switch hitter, Matt Wieters.
Better left-handed hitter, of course, as all Cardinal fans know. 11 home runs on the year. My goodness.
Jose Martinez at the on-deck circle. He would pinch hit for Michaelis if we get there. If not, Michaelis may go back out for the bottom of the eighth. Wednesday off the bench. His first action since August 31st. And homers against his former team. Instead of pinch hit for the big home run off the bench.
He does. And while he's starting, 11 home runs are a lot of home runs for Matt Wieters.
Munoz started towards second base and then stopped, and that's ball one.
Now, you're reluctant to run here because if you run and you're thrown out, you lose the pinch hitter, Matt Wieters.
Hits it the other way. Diving stop at third by Happ. Takes a hit away from Wieters. Darvish through 8, and it's 2-1. Jairo Munoz stays in the game after pinch running. He is at third base. And Randy Arozarena in center for Bader. And the first pitch, a strike taken by Yu Darvish. So Darvish will pitch the ninth, at least start. Rizzo to follow, then Castellanos. 2-1 our score. Darvish has been magnificent today, and a ground ball slowly hit. Edman, one away. Michael is still in this game, and he has pitched awfully well along the way to try to match Yu Darvish. Rizzo 1 for 3. Line out, base hit to right, and grounded back to Michaelis.
One of those situations where if Rizzo gets on, I doubt that Joe Madden will pinch run for him, because even on one leg for the most part, he's still a very good defensive player. But it will be interesting if he gets on to see what happens.
First pitch to Rizzo. Pulled. Foul. Hovers over the plate, dares you to pitch him inside, and he's got quick hands.
Yes, he does.
Well, this ball game has been so well pitched on both sides. Yu Darvish, 12 strikeouts, 4 hits. Michaelis, 6 hits allowed. He has struck out 4, walked 1. And a foul ball as Rizzo is slow to get back up and walk it off.
Looks like it hit him, or he hit the ball into his right foot with his left foot aching. Right into the right foot.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. Singles into center. I think you got a pinch run for him, don't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's
Javier
Baez.
Baez will stay in there and play deep. Well, no way. He's strictly a pinch runner right now. Last game of the season for Rizzo. An ovation rightly earned.
There's Castellanos, a solo home run hit back in the 6th inning. He's also singled 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. Hits it out to left. Ozuna with the catch, and Baez back to the bag at first. Everything he hits is hard. Outs.
It's really true. He has struck out in 4 plate appearances today, but 2 hits, 1 a home run.
So Happ, who came in the 4th after Bryant grounded into a double play and then sprained his ankle, was taken away and helped off the field. X-rays negative. So Happ took over at third base, and he struck out back in the 6th.
Got to send Baez here, don't you? I think.
Push it.
That's why he's in there, for his speed.
High strike. It'll be a pinch hitter, Fowler, and then Edman coming up for St. Louis. They'll try to do anything to get Goldschmidt one more at bat. Due up 4th. Base hit into center. Baez racing to second, on his way to 3rd. Runners at the corners. Half the base hit. We'll see if they go with the lefty here to face Schwarber. I think you have to.
Got to be Andrew Miller. It's the last chance you have to use it, I would think.
So Miles Michaelis gives the Cardinals 7 2/3 in this ball game. They'll exit trailing 2-1. This copyrighted telecast at rainy Wrigley Field, presented by the authority of the Cardinals, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. Tyler Webb in to face Kyle Schwarber, and our Chevy called to the pen.
Little surprise that Andrew Miller didn't come into the game. Tyler Webb has done a very good job for Mike Schilt, facing a very tough left-hander in Schwarber.
Brebbia continues to throw in the Cardinal pen. First pitch, breaking ball taken outside. Schwarber today singled a ball that dropped between Bader and Ozuna. He walked and grounded out. Trying to give the Cubs a little cushion here going into the ninth. And very well could be breaking ball after breaking ball here. We'll see. Strike two.
Baez inching off of third base too. He is a dangerous base runner, particularly with a left-hander on the mound, because the left-hander in his stretch has his back to Baez, and you don't ever want to have your back to that man when he's on the bases.
Wanted it out there for a pitch out, and they got him in a rundown. We'll see how they want to play it. Oh, everybody's safe.
Baez even upsets things when he's not in the rundown. The very threat of him going.
Yachty sniffed that out. He knew it was coming, and he asked for the ball up and away. And
yeah,
Cardinals should be out of the inning.
It's a tough play with Baez on at third base. That's why he's in there. Straight tag. You can see Baez going back and forth, back and forth. A non-issue.
And DeYoung, if he runs down Happ, would have had him. Schwarber hits it out of play.
Baez may have scored, however, before the tag was made. I mean,
yeah, but he was going back towards third, so they had him.
Okay.
You don't agree?
No.
Well, you're wrong. The 2-2 off the plate. We get Zobrist to switch hitter. He's on deck.
With Schwarber, you got to be looking for a breaking ball.
Line into right, but there's Fowler.
That was an interesting inning, wasn't it?
Big time.
Yeah.
2-1 as we head to the ninth. Dramatics all series long. Game one, it was Carpenter late against Kimbrel. Yesterday, back-to-back home runs in the first two pitches in the ninth. That was game three. How about game four?
That was our key to the game. How about one more? Uno más. Bloop and a blast will give you uno más, maybe.
Jose Martinez to pinch hit. Pinch hitting for Webb. First pitch, a ball. Yu Darvish pitching now into this ninth inning. 2-1 our score. Fowler to follow, and then Tommy Edman. Almora in center, Hayward in right. Bodie takes over at third. Happ shifts over to first. In the air, center field. Almora is back. Off his glove. It's in the ivy. Martinez to second. Martinez on his way to third. Leadoff triple. Jose Martinez. Of all people to pick up a triple, it's Jose Martinez.
A triple is so hard to get when you come out as a pinch hitter because your legs aren't loose. They're loose now after, I think that's his first pinch hit triple of his career. I think.
It's his first triple this year, period. Almora almost came up with a tremendous play in center. He just came into the game too.
Yep, that's right.
Tyler O'Neill will pinch run.
Infield in, of course, for the Cubs.
Andrew Miller throwing in the Cardinals' pen. Pedro Strop has just picked up a baseball for the Cubs. That pitch taken inside. Next pitch, number 100 for Yu Darvish.
Understandably, O'Neill close to third. He's making the ball go through. Pop Warner will say, all right, Tyler, make the ball go through, which means if the ball is hit on the infield, make it go through to the outfield. So it's time to be cautious if you're O'Neill.
Two balls and one strike. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Wheels spinning on both sides. Chance of Yu here at the ballpark. He's trying to pick up lucky number 13 in terms of strikeouts. Fowler today struck out twice and grounded back to Darvish. Pinch hit, leadoff triple by Martinez. O'Neill, the runner at third base. The 2-2. And Fowler lifts a fly ball out to left center. That's Almora with the catch. Here comes O'Neill. O'Neill racing home. Save! And this game is tied 2-2. Dexter Fowler drives in his 64th, and we're tied at 2.
That matches an all-time high as he pops it to left center. Almora fielding the ball. Just too far out. No way to get Tyler O'Neill. And again, the bench is excited. And so are the guys on it.
Miles off the hook. 2-2 our score. And here's Tommy Edman, who is 1 for 3. Is struck out, grounded out, and singled to left.
Really good hitting by Fowler and avoiding the strikeout.
So a question here for Joe Maddon would be, how long do you stay with Yu Darvish in this 9th inning? Pitch count at 104.
I think you're trying to present him with the present right now for doing as well as he's done. Gives up a run in the 9th. Seems that Joe would go longer with Darvish because of what he's done this year. And he has not had support. He's won 6, lost 7 coming in. Pitched very, very well. We'll see.
The 0-1. Edman, base hit into right. The go-ahead run is aboard. And a 2-hit day for Tommy Edman.
That pitch middle in. Tommy Edman with his 2nd straight single. 1 to right, 1 to left. And here comes the pitching coach for the Cubs. And again, this is, in my view, a gift from Joe Maddon for Darvish having such a great year.
Or maybe he has nobody he trusts in his bullpen.
That too, yeah.
He says, this is my best opportunity to win this game is with the guy that's on the mound.
Yeah, that's valid.
We mentioned it earlier. Darvish is not very quick to the plate. So think about Tommy Edman running in this spot.
Yeah, excellent point. Mike Schilt has proven time and time again that stationary base running is not his forte. He loves to open things up. That's why the Cardinals are so much improved with their stolen base record this year.
See Edman kind of shaking the dirt or mud off his hands and arms. So that does tell you a little bit about the footing over there. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, right.
Goldschmidt is singled today. And strike 1. Cubs in the 9th inning will have Zobrist, Caratini, and Hayward due up in the bottom half. Cardinals have tied it 2-2. Edman running, throw to second. Not in time. Tommy Edman with stolen base number 14.
You saw Caratini with that little juggle and making the transfer. That happens often with guys with strong arms, or 2 guys with strong arms. Watch the juggle in the right hand of the ball. All it takes is a little bit. Great jump by Edman. Thing about it is the footing looks fine.
Castellanos is in left field. Almora in center. Hayward in right. Almora and Hayward, very good arms. Go ahead run in scoring position. Season high in pitches, if you're wondering, is 110 for Yu Darvish. He's done that twice, most recently back on the 12th of this month. The 1-2 pitch off the plate. 2-2. Darvish wanted that one.
38,000 umpires in the stands disagreeing with Chris Guccione, a home plate umpire. 14th stolen base for Tommy Edman. Unafraid. Been caught once.
Goldschmidt pulls it fair. It's fair. The Cardinals have the lead. It's ninth inning magic again. 3-2 St. Louis. Goldschmidt the double to bring in Tommy Edman.
Last night, the home run hit by Ozuna a foot above the ground. This ball about a foot above the ground. Raked toward third. And the Cardinals take the lead. Tommy Edman scoring easily. Goldschmidt even thought about going to third base. That ball right down the line. And again, an ebullient Cardinal bench.
Three to two, the Cardinals on top. On a rainy day here in Chicago at Wrigley Field, the Cardinals down 2-1 going into the ninth. They had struck out 12 times against Yu Darvish, and a leadoff pinch hit triple by Jose Martinez got it going. Here's Marcell Ozuna.
Tell you, Dan, if the Cardinals take this grittiness into the postseason, providing they get there, I know, they're going to be tough to beat. No more of that just making it. You're happy just making it. It's not the way this team is thinking. Or at least they're not playing like they're thinking like that.
It has turned into a nightmare for the Cubs, this four-game series.
Man.
But still 3 outs to go. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1, Molina on deck. Eight and a third from Yu Darvish. 12 strikeouts along the way.
It's the way his season's been going. As we said, he's won 6, lost 7, with 217 strikeouts coming into this game.
3-2.
I don't think the Cubs would even have thought about re-signing Darvish had he not shown what he's shown this year. Talk about grit and determination. Strop can get wild with that slider if he elects to go there.
Inside, and a walk to Ozuna. It's the first walk the Cardinals have received today. Again, Cardinals win, they are in the dance. That's what's at stake here this afternoon. And Molina pops it back in foul.
That was a hanging backup slider. Strop throws a lot of sliders, fastball slider. I think Yachty checking with Chris Guccione and asking if that pitch was a strike. It's probably a little high. But so was that ball he hit out last night to tie the game.
The 0-1. Now 0-2.
Molina checking for a hairline fracture
Of the bat.
Yes. Yeah, with Yachty, I guess you do have to explain that. With all the pine tar and everything that's used on the handle of the bat, sometimes it's tough to tell whether the bat's broken or not.
That's out of play. Brewers post a victory. They win 4-3. That's now a final. That pitch taken low. Pittsburgh made it interesting late by scoring 3 in the 9th.
Is that a Hader save, maybe?
Hader came in and struck out the side.
Huh.
Still 1-2 on Yadier Molina. Strikeout of Molina, a rare 3-strikeout day for Yadi. The Cubs will have Zobrist, Caratini, Hayward due up, looking at that bottom of the 9th.
Tough hitter in Jairo Munoz too. He hadn't been hitting a lot lately. More of a bench player in September, but he is a tough out.
Pulled foul, 2 outs, 2 on. Pulled foul. 2 strikes on Jairo Munoz.
That was
Came
a
in
rare
to pinch run.
Excuse me, Dan. That was a rare hanger by Stroke.
Strikeout of Munoz. The bottom of the ninth coming up. The Cardinals pick up 2. The bench reaction. 3-2 St. Louis. Postseason berth on the line when we come back. If the Cardinals can get the final 3 outs here, they are headed to postseason and reduce the magic number to 4 for the division. Andrew Miller.
It may be a small thing, but by having Miller in, close it, you have your strength to win it for the Cardinals. And keep in mind that Tyler O'Neill came in. I beg your pardon. No. Tyler Webb came in and got out of the 8th inning.
Get a line out off the bat of Schwarber with 2 runners on.
Yeah.
Line out to right. Here's Ben Zobrist, potentially playing in his final home game as a Chicago Cub. It's a foul ball off his foot, so he shook up a bit. Caratini on deck, and then Hayward. And Wilson Contreras has just moved to the on-deck circle. Popped up. Playable. Goldschmidt there. 1 away. Take a look at our Budweiser plays of the game. And it's Jose Martinez off the bench, off the glove of Almora. Leadoff triple. Fowler then would bring in Tyler O'Neill. Pinch ran for Martinez with this sac fly that tied it up. Tommy Edman, a base hit, then stolen base number 14. And Paul Goldschmidt, the double down the third base line. The Budweiser plays of the game.
How many times have we seen when that pinch runner scores, Tyler O'Neill, and ties the game? That's all of the scoring. But with 1 out and nobody on, Edman again got it rolling.
Contreras, the pinch hitter for Caratini. And the 0-1 by Miller. Strike 2. Chris Guccione hearing it from the Cubs faithful and their dugout.
Contreras complaining to home plate umpire Chris Guccione, but that ball is a strike. He's a free swinger and is apt to go after breaking balls in the dirt. The problem with that is if you throw it in the dirt, it may get by Yachty.
Yanked foul. If Contreras strikes out, he's gonna give it to Chris Guccione.
Yes.
He'll be ejected.
Yeah, probably.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 down.
Well, Contreras is trying. Chris Guccione understanding the situation and not making a move right now.
Jason Hayward left the Cardinals after 2015. The last time the Cardinals were in the postseason. Now the Cubs' final hope.
Excellent point.
First pitch to him, taken for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch, Miller to Hayward. Strike 2. One strike away. The 1-2 inside, almost hit him. 2-2.
Sets him up for another breaking ball outside. That's what Miller features. Fastball in on the hands to left-handers and the breaking ball outside. He's very sharp and a late breaker.
The 2-2 outside corner, doesn't get the call. Three and 2 the count with 2 outs and nobody on. Hayward has popped 21 home runs this year.
Boy, that was tough. Miller hit the spot. Molina didn't budge behind home plate.
3-2 pitch. Miller to Hayward. Fly ball out to shallow left, and that'll drop in for a hit. The Cubs have a life.
That ball a considerable distance off the plate. And it looked like Hayward was looking for it, looking for something away. He got it. A lot of people would say that's lucky. That's good. It's good thinking on Hayward's part.
Nico Hoerner, the batter. The tying run at first base, winning run at the plate. Nico Hoerner. Strike 1. It has just been an incredible 4 days of baseball, any way you want to look at it.
Any way you want to look at it. You can repeat that if you like. My gosh. What games?
All 4 have been a 1-run. Brebbia has joined Giovanni Gallegos in the Cardinal pen. No balls, 1 strike on Nico Hoerner. And he yanks one foul. And again, the Cubs down to their final strike.
It is likely that Yadier Molina will get a ball in the dirt. Out to talk to Andrew Miller right now. We've seen Andrew Miller do that all year. After someone yanks a foul ball, get that next one, playing on his enthusiasm, the hitter that is, and throws balls in the dirt. So from a catching standpoint, you've got to be ready.
Players reported to spring training early February, and now they are 1 strike away from playing into October.
I think Yadi just yelled something to Munoz about guarding the line, because this will probably be a breaking ball inside to Hoerner. And sure enough, Munoz is on the line at third base.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Miller to Hoerner. And a fly ball lifted down the right field line, but foul.
Miller slapping the ball in his glove. I think that ball was designed to go inside, but stayed away.
again. The 0-2 pitch. Miller. The 0-2, Miller to Horner. Fouled back. A good battle here. That pitch had a little extra on it from Andrew Miller.
Fastball up and away.
The 0-2. Fly ball, center field. This is caught. It's history. A Cardinals 4-game sweep of the Cubs at Wrigley for the first time since 1921. St. Louis back in the postseason. First time since 2015. A Wrigley Field massacre. And how sweet it is. 4-game sweep for St. Louis.
I have never seen the Cardinals, or at least since I've been back with the Cardinals over the last 7 years, I've never seen the guys on the bench as happy as they've been over the last 3 games. You can really make it a 4th game, including Thursday night, but we didn't do the game.
Postseason play for the Cardinals, 29th time in franchise history as they come out of the dugout. There'll be a little celebration, then it's off to Arizona. Still unfinished business with the division. Milwaukee still 3 back. Chicago still alive, but 7 out. And the Cardinals, it's postseason play, baby. Love it. Jim Hayes, take it away.
Long season for you guys to get to the postseason. What's the feeling like right now?
Yeah, it's exciting. You know, it's a good win, good come from behind win. It's nice to, be able to get in the postseason, but, we need to keep going. The Brewers are right on our heels, and hopefully can finish this last week strong.
The clincher had to be a come from behind win, didn't it?
We'll take it any way we can get it. Man, Darvish was lights out today, and we were just trying to get a base runner or 2 on there and just try to keep going, and luckily we were able to do it.
You take a Darvish pitch and you send it down the line. Take me through that at bat.
Just trying to put something in play early on. He was striking so many guys out and just trying to keep my swing short. I had a couple pitches to hit early, and I swung and missed at him. Then with 2 strikes, just trying to put something in place, trying to be as short as I can, and luckily that got down the line.
One of the calling cards of this team, never stop. Jose Martinez starting that inning with a triple.
Yeah, that was huge. We needed some momentum. We couldn't really get anything going the whole game, and we were just trying to get a base runner or 2 on, so maybe one swing could do it, and that was huge to get a guy on third right there.
Congratulations. Go enjoy yourself for a minute.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's bring in Jose Martinez. Pinch hit, triple to lead off the inning. I saw you back there taking cuts, getting ready. You get into the game, triple. Take me through that.
I mean, I was working with Joe Bell. It's been many hard just because, Janine does a bat, but I was seeing the second inning out there just swinging and swinging because, you have to be ready, like I said, and good for the team that, just keeping it simple, just trying to put the ball in play, and I got a triple.
What does it say about this ball club? Comeback after comeback, they just won't go away.
It's the confidence that we got. Like I said before, early on in the year. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be good. And I know everybody out there just trying to, say stuff and not doubt, getting just not confident in us. But I think this is a great team. This is a great group of guys, and representing the Bench Mafia too. So I think, I mean, we're not going to give up. From season and on, we're not going to give up. Sorry.
The bench mafia makes a lot of noise, don't they?
100%. We over there just trying to, you know, cheer up my teammates and everything, just have a little fun for them and just not to go out there and just think under pressure. I think, I mean, we help each other out and we're going to have a lot of wins like this soon.
Go join your teammates. Thanks for the time. All right, Danny. Cardinal clubhouse going to be pretty happy.
Absolutely. We'll take you inside that clubhouse. Be a little celebration, we understand. Maybe a toast.
Makes sense.
You know, not as crazy as it might be when you win the division.
Right.
If the Cardinals get to that point, we'll see. But hey, that's a tease. Stick around, you never know. 4-game sweep. Cardinals back in the playoffs. 3-2 the final. What a 4 games it's been. Post-game show is next.
Unforgettable.
4-4 game here in the 10th. Carpenter, and he strokes a high fly ball to deep center field. Matt Carpenter hits it out of here to put the Cardinals back in front. His biggest moment comes here in the 10th inning at Wrigley Field in late September.
Yachty is looking to get Goldschmidt home with the tying run.
Molina, base hit into center. 1 run in. Ozuna will score, and the Cardinals have the lead. Yadier Molina comes through.
Cardinals need a run to tie it.
Molina hits it high. Donner, tie game in the 9th.
And this one driven out to left center. Back to back. Yes! 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 St. Louis on top. 2 bombs. 2 pitches. Goldschmidt pulls it fair. The Cardinals have the lead. It's 9th inning magic again. It's history. A Wrigley Field massacre. And how sweet it is.